on. Thank you, guys. Welcome to the third Rise and Soar conference. How incredible to stand here today and see 175 women in the audience. I hope we have enough seats, so we might have to pull up a couple more. Today, you're going to hear from several inspiring speakers, each sharing in TED Talk style format, short, powerful 10-minute talks, followed by 5 minutes of journaling, Q&A, or table talk. This conference is designed to inspire and motivate you wherever you're at. I want to extend my heartfelt thank you to my parents in the back for helping with the food and prep, and to my husband for all of his support. To our sponsors, speakers, day of setup, volunteers, this day could not be possible without each of you. All right, Imperfect action, here we go. We often wait thinking that everything needs to be perfect before we take that step. We're scared what will happen if it's not perfect. But what if the moment to start isn't about perfect timing at all? I want to ask you, have you ever waited for that just right moment? The perfect idea, the perfect clarity, the perfect confidence. We all do it. I've learned and seen again and again that breakthrough does not come before we take action. It comes because we took action. You see, if we wait for it to arrive, we stay waiting. We put too much weight into our fears, we get paralyzed, and we start believing in our own excuses. The power is in taking one imperfect step forward, or what people will hear me pitch over and over again, to take imperfect action. The Lord rarely hands us an exact blueprint with everything correctly laid in order. He hands us a step, and often it feels shaky at first. But obedience doesn't require perfection. It's about being willing to move and trusting Him with what's next. Today, you're going to have some time to talk about the next thing that you need to take imperfect action on. You are going to declare it out loud, big or small, at your table. I believe that when you voice something that you're not ready for, it demands you to grow. And when we speak a goal out loud, we invite accountability in. But those goals that we keep quiet, those are the ones that we can ignore when things get uncomfortable. Even around starting and hosting the very first Rise and Soar, I talked to my friends Hope and Lauren so many times about the vision, then listened for hours on outdoor walks. They probably questioned whether or not they would ever attend this event. I could dream it, describe it, I could visualize the stage. I even helped Chad and Josh host the Stronger Business Conference to try to satisfy what I felt called to do. And yet, even with all of that, the stirring didn't go away. If anything, it got louder. Even the Lord wasn't satisfied with me just watching from the sidelines. I had to commit to the vision, step out, and face those fears. What I needed to do was take imperfect action. I had to plant the flag and say, I'm doing this. I know I'm called to be a community builder, to resource women so their dreams don't die. I knew I wanted to go for it and learn something rather than stay still wondering what if. So what did I do? I prayed, and I finally said it out loud, and I took that first step of imperfect action. Of course, my doubts and fears came up. Is this too big, too bold? Will anyone show up? Who am I to do this? But obedience isn't about certainty. It's about movement and imperfect action. And here we are, the third time running, 175 women strong. What a blessing. Today, I want to share a few Rise women who took imperfect action in different areas of their lives, in personal growth and in their callings. I love to study people's stories, local heroes, and well-known ones. Morgan Massey dreamed about having a wellness retreat. She didn't have every detail nailed down, just a tug at her heart and a willingness to take one imperfect step. Because she moved, her yes created space for women to gather, connect, and find rest. Hope, where's Hope at? Hope carried a dream of writing a book for so long. It felt big, it felt personal, but she kept taking the next imperfect step. And today, she's holding that book in her hands. You're going to hear from her, and you can buy that book. Rayma, where's Rayma? Calling out Rayma. Rayma had an eye for social media and content. She kept hearing people say, "You're really good at this." So she took that final step to start offering it as a service. And today, she has clients, real work, and real impact, all because she moved. They all moved forward when conditions, confidence, and circumstances were far from ideal. They made a commitment to take imperfect action and to trust. I want you to turn to page 1 in your workbook. We're already getting to work today, ladies. Okay. Grab a pen, and we're going to go straight down this list. This is a quick jot down, okay? So the first question, think of a time in business, life, or an adventure when you just went for it, even imperfectly. What door did it open, and what memories were made? So I want you to write down something that you did take imperfectly, and I want you to hold on to that feeling as we move forward, right? Maybe it was really memorable. You really grew. It was full of joy. You started that business, ran that race, committed to that health goal. What is something, I want you to think about that feeling when you did take that imperfect action. What is it? Just write it down. Okay, when you did that, what fears did you have, or what was holding back? And did any of those fears actually materialize? Right? What those fears that scared you from taking that step that you did already? Did it feel scary? Did any of them actually happen and materialize? Were the consequences as severe as you had believed? Okay, next question. What would you or others say are your greatest strengths? I want you to write them below. I think oftentimes we hear people call strengths out in us. We know that the Lord has given us strengths, and we hear them. What are they? Just write 3 that come to mind that you hear people say or you feel that you are blessed with. Okay. Now this last part, I'm going to read the question, but you're going to close your eyes for a second before you have to write it. Okay, think bold. What's the next imperfect action you need to take before everything feels ready? So I want you to close your eyes for a second, and I want you just to think about it as I read a couple things out loud. I'm going to share a few avatars. I'm thinking about my leaders leading teams of people who've put in the rep, honed in their craft, learned to lead. They know how to win, how to grow, and maybe your next step, maybe it's a book, a podcast, a community, a way to share what you learned so others can grow. If that's you, listen to what's nudging for you to take your next step. Maybe you're a growing business and you hear and see transformation every day. You get those nudges. Automate, build systems, hire an assistant, raise those prices, explore something new. What is he asking you to do next? Maybe you're just beginning to dream about the thing. People see your strengths, but you haven't yet called them out and gone with it. What if you trusted and took one imperfect step? You don't need the perfect website, the business card, or the logo. You just need to move. Make the call, get your first sale, or meet someone here today and declare it. And maybe business isn't your thing at all, and that's okay. Maybe your step is a vacation, a home project, a health goal, or something else that you've been holding on to. Whatever it is, take that in faith, step forward, and watch what will happen. Now I want you to take a moment and write down what's the next imperfect thing that you feel called to do. Big or small. Go ahead and write it down. All right, in just a minute, you're going to have a chance to go around the table and say what you want. If you want to pass, you can also pass. But I want to highlight Jesus. I love how Jesus didn't wait for the perfect circumstances. He moved with purpose through imperfection. We can all remember in Luke 5, the crowds pressed on him so tightly that what did he do? He didn't have space to teach, so he stepped onto a fisherman boat and made it a pulpit. If the setting isn't ideal, create one. Use what's available to keep your purpose moving. Having less creates innovation, right? Having less creates innovation. We all have moments when God did something unexpected. If you see him move and do something unexpected, maybe you put your resources behind that. Get behind what he's doing. Okay, I want you guys, there's a sticker on the table that says to take imperfect action, and you have the next 3 minutes to go around and just share what you wrote on that last bold statement.